Well, good evening. Over the next 30 minutes, we will be talking about those top 5 market stories. And our guests are going to be answering all of your stock queries. So joining us this evening is on the fundamentals, Mayuresh Joshi, and technical expert Mitesh Thakkar. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining in. Before we start questioning you about all what took place in the markets and all the queries that we got, well, Lata, yes, well, so it is a yes to yes, but let's get in a query then. Ashish Sharma from Punjab has written to us with a question on Yes Bank. He's been holding 1,000 shares of the bank at 244.5, short-term investor, and he wants to know whether he should hold or sell. Well, in that case, Mayuresh, short-term view on Yes Bank, what would you recommend?
Evening, Ekta. No, again, I think as Lata was mentioning, I think what the bank has probably done, I think two of the key overhangs are behind them in terms of the CEO appointment and the RBI divergence. What they do with capital raising, I think with CET1 at 9.2 is going to be critical. But again, I think as they're able to do that over the next few weeks or months, it is going to be accretive to the book because of the advances growth that they're expected to eke out over the coming few quarters in line with what they've done historically. So again, I think steady performance expected, credit costs are expected to peak out as well, and that will itself give a propel to the return ratios. So an absolutely hold from my side. I think he should elongate his time horizon, because if they're able to raise money, I think the re-rating is around the corner and the book value multiples will also increase. So extend your time horizon and hold on to the stuff.
Fair enough, but he wants a short-term view as well. So Mitesh, nevertheless, there are questions on the oil marketing companies. Rano Joy has tweeted to us with a query on IOC. He has been holding shares at 149 rupees a piece, wants to know if he should continue to hold it or sell. Mayuresh, what's your sense about IOC?
So Lata, in general, I think for the OMCs, I think the gross marketing margins have been relatively stable, and if crude is expected to remain stable, I think taking into account Manisha's point, if it does spurt higher, that does hurt the sensitivity to earnings. But if it does stay in a range, the marketing margins probably increase. IOC probably gets least impacted because HPCL, BPCL have larger marketing margins. Nevertheless, I think the Singapore GRMs for this quarter is also at an 8-year low. So how the refining margins are going to pan out is also going to be critical for OMCs. Add to that, I think the capex that they're putting through. For IOC in particular, I think the utilization level at its Paradeep plant, the expectations of GRM stabilizing because of the complexity that they've got, and the expectations of cash flows remaining stable, I think are probably stable points from a book value perspective. So if the investor has a couple of years time horizon, considering all these variables at play, I think he can very well hold on to this.
Okay, but it's lost a lot. If he has bought it at 144, he's sitting on a 20 rupee loss, which works out to about a 15% loss for him as of now. Mitesh, are you a buyer at 72? He's sitting on a big loss.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I would concur with Mitesh. I think if he intends to hold on with the stock, he can average and then possibly look at how the performance will. The performance was quite okay, Lata. I think we've discussed this last week as well. I think the recoveries were quite reasonable. And I think the worst probably in terms of the financials would be over. However, our bias would still remain with the private guys. So I think Axis, ICICI, or even a Federal Bank for that matter.
Okay, all right. So let's get to the fifth and the last headline for today. DHF
absolutely out of time, but to put your warning on the table. Thank you very much, Mitesh and Mayuresh, for joining us.
Well, yes, that's a wrap on Markets Today Talk Mac. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more news and updates.